That's my style. All right.
A million is a statistic until you meet one, and then they're a person. Those words stuck with me. A few years back, I heard a story about a girl by a speaker who came to expose slavery in the modern world to our church. I must say I was completely ignorant on this matter and had no idea this could still be happening today. Christine Caine exposed this injustice to a suburban audience, and after that I did some research and found out some information that was devastating. I will include some today, but I encourage you all to go on your own and find out more information about this injustice. First, let me inform you about human slavery and giving you some examples. For example, 27 to 30 million slaves around the globe today, which is more than any other time in the history of mankind. Every 30 seconds, someone is sold into the sex trade for sexual exploitation or even for criminal purposes and forced labor. Men, women, and children are all targets, but the average age is 12, with most victims being girls. Women and children are often kidnapped or even sold by their own families in desperate circumstances. People with disabilities are also at high risk because they're perceived to be virgins and less likely to seek help and cause alarm. Because of lack of knowledge, this stays hush. And 1 out of 100,000 traffickers are ever convicted, and 1% of all victims are ever rescued. Over 1/2 of the international crime industry money comes from human trafficking alone. That's more than illegal drugs and arms sales combined. Now, U.S. Super Bowl is the #1 attraction. It's even happening here in our neighborhoods. In 1809, a price per slave, adjusted to today's income, was $40,000. The price of human life was devalued so much that today, actually the statistics were in 2009 at $90 a slave, now even less than that. Sex industry is growing rapidly, expanding into the West. Ports like San Francisco, San Diego, even Houston, which hosts more strip clubs and illicit spas than Las Vegas, most of them in which these girls work who had been sex traded. Not just girls. 2 investigators in New York set out to interview about 200 of teen prostitutes. Found out in about less than 2 years, when they completed their research, 4,000 teens came forward, and most of them were teenage boys about the age of 15. They're called the New York's Lost Boys. Now, let me tell you a few real stories as well. Christine Caine, for example, met a girl from Russia who was one of 60 that was promised jobs in Greece, but found themselves in a crate. Now, this wooden crate was aboard a ship. Most of the girls were thrown overboard. A lot of them died in the route. Only 5 made it there, who were raped and sold into sex trades afterwards. Now, Selena, I met her on a bus in Florida. She holds a shelter for trafficked girls in the Midwest U.S. She told me a story of a baby less than a year old that she rescued, whose every limb was torn by a couple who used her to take sex acts with her and others that paid, and later showed these on the internet. Now, Nicholas Kristof, for example, he writes for the New York Times, and in my research I ran across a story about a young girl from Cambodia that he wrote. Cambodia, where almost 70% of all tourism is middle-aged single men. Trafficked as 6, sold by her family, raped by a Western pedophile. She was raped about 20 times a night, resewn twice to appear a virgin because they cost more. She was beaten, electrocuted, even left in a sewage barrel full of scorpions when she tried to escape. I'd like to give you some information how you too can help, how you can stay informed. For example, A21 has 21 ways on how you can help. You can search different organizations like Not for Sale or Call to Rescue on Wikipedia, even Google trafficking. Anything that you could do will help. The more awareness that we raise, the more we can put this behind us. Human trafficking is indeed slavery. It's happening where you live to people like you and me. The products that we wear are most likely made by people who have been trafficked. There's not enough time for one person to explain all of this, but we fight for rights to preserve everything from the earth to animals. We must fight for each other. We must fight for people. Human trafficking is modern-day slavery. It takes on many forms as underground businesses in all genders, and it's rapidly decreasing in age criteria. Indifference, and as we look the other way and stay silent, is not an option anymore. Please find out how you can help, and we can unite to build a better world and a safer world for our children and future generations. Thank you.